spreading across the media and the press now is reportedly regarding Andreas Pieriera, the current Andreas player who's currently on loan at Valencia. We know he's currently on loan at Valencia. Man United have an option to get him back in January, but he's come out and suggested out that reportedly he's keen on seeing out his loan deal with Valencia, and he does want to sign with them on a permanent deal, does Andreas Pieriera. And Andreas Pieriera is basically explained this situation, because obviously Valencia are doing very, very well this season in La Liga. You know, they've got 11 points. They're only, I think, 4 points behind Barcelona as well. You know, Andreas Pereira's featured in 9 games so far, you know, with Valencia this season as well in the current process. But reportedly he's saying Valencia are a big club. You know, he feels happy at Valencia, and reportedly he has no he has no intentions of coming back to Manchester United, does Andreas Pieriera, and he has explained this in the situation. So he's come out in the press and said he isn't considering making a move back to Old Trafford. He says he's happy at Valencia, is the current player. So basically he's keen on signing a permanent deal with Valencia Football Club, is Andreas Pieriera, because we know we let him go out on loan. Andreas Pieriera, we know we were disappointed with this, obviously, because he felt as though, you know, he wasn't getting enough game time with Manchester United with Andreas Pereira, because obviously he did play for us in the pre-season friendlies quite a lot, did Pereira, but he didn't feature for us in like the first 3 Premier League games, you know, obviously before he went on his loan deal with Valencia. But as I'm saying, he does now reportedly want to sign for Valencia on a permanent deal. We know he did sign a 1-year extension with Manchester United, which does take him under contract at Old Trafford still until 2019 as well, does Andreas Pereira. But reportedly he wants to quit Manchester United now. He's no intentions of coming back, basically, and reportedly he wants to sign for Valencia on a permanent deal, because we know obviously he's got now he's got real good experience of playing in Spain as Andreas Pereira, because, you know, he was very, very good during his loan spell with Granada as well. You know, he played, I think, 35 appearances and scored 5 goals as well. With Manchester United, you know, at Manchester United, he's only made 5 senior appearances as Andreas Pereira as well. But as I'm saying, you know, he says he's happy with life. He's very, very happy at Valencia is the current player, because he's on loan now, and he was on loan with Granada last season as well, was Andreas. Well, in 2016-17 he was on loan with Granada as well, was the current player, and we know he reasoned up the ranks with Lomelo United at 9 years of age, and then he went to the likes of PSV, and then he joined Manchester United in November 2011. He made his first Premier League appearance in March 2015 as well, Andreas Pereira. And yeah, for Manchester United, made 5 senior appearances. You know, for Granada, he made 35 appearances and scored 5 goals as well. So he's very, very impressive there. And this season, he's made 9 appearances so far for Valencia. So he's demanding basically that he wants to quit Manchester United and sign for Valencia on a permanent deal. But obviously, Mourinho, you know, was a bit disappointed, you know, seeing Andreas Pereira go, because he did explain, didn't he, you know, before he went on his loan deal, you know, he wanted him to fight for his place, did Mourinho. He wanted Andreas Pereira to fight for his place. But obviously, you know, he did say, you know, Andreas Pereira wants first-team football week in, week out, and, you know, he wasn't going to be guaranteed this with Manchester United. So, reportedly now he's demanding that he wants to sign on a permanent deal, and that he does want to quit Manchester United fully, does Andreas Pereira, and he wants to see out his current loan deal as well in the current process. So that's the big breaking news, guys, to update you with that as well. But he's a good player, you know, when he does play, because he's proven it with Granada. He's doing it so far with Valencia this season, because Valencia are playing very, very well this season in La Liga. So this is one of the main reasons why he may want to sign with them on a permanent deal, Andreas Pereira as well. So that's big breaking news to update you with that. And also, as I updated you earlier on, guys, was about Saul Niguez, the current Atletico Madrid player. I don't really know much about him. I think he's a defensive midfielder. He can also play as a dynamic. He also can play as a dynamic box-to-box midfielder as well. Can the current player? He signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid this year, July 2017. He signed a 9-year contract. He reportedly does have a release clause of £133 million. It is a lot of money, but I presume that Manchester United can afford the current player, because we did spend quite a lot of money, you know, even though we did miss out on quite a few targets. You know, we spent like 40 on Matic, 30 on Lindelof, about 30 on Lindelof, you know, and 75 was it on Romelu Lukaku. That's over £100 million there on three players. But obviously, this Saul Niguez has a 133 million release clause as well. Does the current player. But reportedly, you know, as I said about the player, you know, he began his his career with Real Madrid, and then in 2008, you know, he joined the Atletico Madrid U system, risen up the ranks fantastically well. So could potentially, you know, Jose Mourinho make a move for the player? I think he is a big admirer of the player as well, because the board have basically made it clear to Mourinho now he has to sell before he can buy in the current process. Because obviously now, Ander Herrera basically has been linked with Atletico Madrid, so could the could there be, oh, for God's sake, could there be potentially a swap deal involved? But Ander Herrera, I think he's keen on going to work under Diego Simeone, is Ander Herrera. But reportedly, Jose Mourinho's still keen on keeping him. He has blocked Ander Herrera making a move to Atletico Madrid. He's also been on Barcelona's agenda as well as Ander Herrera, but Ander Herrera's coming to an end of his deal as well. But I think Man United have the option to put a one-year extension on his contract, which would keep him at Manchester United until 2019 as well. Under Herrera, he has really failed to establish himself this season. As I said, he does better in a midfield three than he does in a midfield two. But obviously, he hasn't. He obviously wants more game time. But only reason he's been getting more game time recently, as I said, you know, the absences of Paul Pogba, and you know, Fellaini's just recovered from injury as well. But Ander Herrera won the Player of the Year last season because his work ethic was good. His passing ability was good. He created a lot of chances. He dominated that midfield fantastically well. Ander Herrera, and he deserved it last season, you know, based on his performances. But his performances have not been up to scratch this season, because we know Mourinho's mainly gone with Matic and Pogba in the midfield, as we all know and we all gathered. But obviously, you know, due to injury of Pogba and that, he's put Herrera in the mix. But as I said, Herrera's not a first choice in that midfield anymore, especially with Matic there, who's dominating our midfield this season as well in the current process. So, yeah, Herrera, as I said, made his international debut in 2016, won tournament to Spain, you know, for the under-20 and under-21 level. We purchased him for £29 million from Atletico Bilbao back in 2014, so he does have experience of playing in Spain as well. This is his fourth season of pro. He's nearly made 100 appearances now for Manchester United as under Herrera in the current process. But yeah, reportedly Atletico Madrid could make a move for him. You got Manny and Fellaini. I definitely think Manny and Fellaini is going to go, because Manny and Fellaini now has made appearances all in all in the Premier League. Manny and Fellaini, so he's another player that reportedly could go, because that also said in the presser the other day that Man United have reportedly come to agreements with Besiktas. We're reportedly agreeing to offload Fellaini for £8 million. Fellaini's agent has reportedly been in discussions with Besiktas and that over this. Obviously, we know Galatasaray have been interested in Manny and Fellaini, but obviously, you know, he's another one that's set to leave on a free transfer next summer. Man United have not secured Manny and Fellaini new deal either, because Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. Jose Mourinho wants to keep Manny and Fellaini, but in the process, Man United, you know, can't secure Fellaini a new deal, so obviously we're going to cash in for him rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer if we obviously can't get the pursuit. If we can't you know, secure him a new deal at Man United, and we know purchasing for Everton, you know, for just over £27 million in the process. And, you know, it did say we had the option to put a one-year extension on Marian Fellaini's contract as well. But I think Fellaini did say a while back, you know, he was keen on a long-term extension with Manchester United. Fellaini's, you know, this is the best season, without a doubt, he's had in a Manchester United shirt. He's done very, very well. He's complemented that midfield fantastically well. And I've been shell-shocked, you know, for Fellaini's performances. Obviously, before he got injured, we know he's just recovered. Before he got injured, he was in absolutely fantastic form. But apart from that, you know, he's been mainly a flop at Manchester United as Manny and Fellaini. And yeah, looks like he's going to go to Turkey, because he did say Man United were partly willing to offload him for £8 million. So he could also go. And we know we've got Luke Shaw as well, looking like Luke Shaw is going to definitely leave Manchester United, because obviously he's another player. It's just like basically Herrera, you know, Luke Shaw, Herrera not preferred choice in the midfield now. Luke Shaw definitely, you know, Luke Shaw's probably fifth choice left back now, so we could cash in for Luke Shaw in January, because it did say Man United are reportedly willing to offload Luke Shaw for 20 million in January. There's quite a few teams interested. You know, there's Manchester City being mentioned. There's Arsenal, there's Chelsea, that's being mentioned in the current process of Luke Shaw, because we know he risen up the ranks fantastically well with Southampton as well. Luke Shaw, he risen up the youth system very, very well. He's also worked with Pochettino before as well as Luke Shaw, so he may be keen on reuniting Pochettino. It has mentioned Tottenham in the process as well, but it's reportedly said Arsenal and Chelsea are reportedly interested in Luke Shaw as well. He's still under contract with Man U till 2019, is Luke Shaw, but he did say he feels his career could be over after a fallout with Jose Mourinho, Luke Shaw as well. But we've had different players playing at left back position, and Luke Shaw has not played. We know that Luke Shaw is known for injuries. So since he's been at Man United, he's only made 32 appearances. He hasn't really had a chance to establish himself or have any real chance. He hasn't had a real chance of performing a role. With the lack of game time he's been getting at Manchester United, and obviously with the injury he had as well. He's not preferred choice. Our preferred choice is Luke Shaw. And, he's fallen down the pecking order big time. He's surpassed 2 requirements under Jose Mourinho, and Jose Mourinho and him have had a fallout. And we know we purchased him £29 million Southampton. He made England international debut in 2014. And we know also Fenerbahce did say yesterday in the press we were interested, so they're willing to offer him an escape route as well, Luke Shaw. So it's some people say he's worth more than 20 million, but if you cash in £20 million for the player that's not really played much for Man United since he's been here, not had a chance to really perform, I think it's beneficial, because obviously then Jose Mourinho's going to have to identify a replacement for Luke Shaw, as we all know in the current process. So in the current process. So that's what I'm saying in the current process, guys. It's looking likely he's going to go as well in January. But there's quite a few teams interested. The rumours saying he could go back to Southampton, as I said, but Southampton have to basically offload Ryan Bertrand as part of that. Ryan Bertrand's obviously, heavily linked with a move to Manchester City. Manchester City are still in search of some fullbacks. Obviously spent a lot of money on fullbacks in August in Manchester City. Obviously one of their summer signings, Benjamin Mendy, is currently injured as well. I think he's set to be out for the majority of the season. City have reportedly been interested in Ryan Bertrand, because we know he risen up the ranks with Gillingham. When we know he's highly experienced, is Ryan Bertrand. As we all know in the current process, he joined Chelsea in 2005. He graduated from their youth system. He was there about a decade. I think now this is his 3rd season in the process with Southampton, is Ryan Bertrand, but made his Chelsea debut in 2011, made his England senior debut in 2012, and he's got Champions League experience as well with Chelsea, becoming first player to make his debut in a Champions League final for Chelsea against Bayern Munich as well, Ryan Bertrand. But reportedly City have been interested in him as well, so if City were to get him, then possibly in January, then possibly Luke Shaw could make the return back to Southampton as well. And, City have got quite a few players on their agenda. As I said, City have got quite a few players on their agenda. Emre Can's been mentioned, because it did say about Emre Can. We know he's coming to an end of his deal with Liverpool. Liverpool have been in the process of trying to secure Emre Can a new deal. But reportedly it did say he's set to see out his current deal as Emre Can become a free transfer next summer. And he's reportedly favouring a move to Manchester City over Liverpool. He's preferring a move to Manchester City over Juventus is the current player, because we know Juventus have been heavily linked to Emre Can, because Emre Can's versatility is very, very good, because he can play as a defensive mid, he can play as a full-back, he can play as a centre-back, so that'd be essential for Manchester City as well. But reportedly Man City have been interested in him. Reportedly he does prefer the move now to City, but he's planning to see out his current Liverpool deal and then go to Manchester City on a free transfer next summer. So basically this is what Emre Can is demanding. But I think for him to sign a new deal, I think his representatives and the player has been demanding a release clause if he's to sign a new deal, plus a wage increase as well. And this is what Emre Can and his representative confirmed. It's also said Juventus have been in talks. Juventus have been in talks with Emre Can's representatives over this as well. But he did classify Juventus' interest as an honour, did Emre Can. What that, guys? So yes, as I was saying, yeah, Emre Can, I'm back now. I just went to get a drink. Emre Can's looking like he's going to leave Liverpool on a free next summer, and we know he's an academy graduate of Bayern Munich, where he recently ranked fantastically well. You know, majority of his playing time there is in the reserve team. Went to Leverkusen in 2014, and Liverpool are purchased him for just nearly £10 million as well, and he's very very good for Germany as well. He's Emre Can in the process, but looking likely, you know, he could go to City on a free transfer next summer. But if he isn't to sign a new deal, as I said, and it's looking like Liverpool nowhere near the process of securing him a new deal, Liverpool will want to find a January buyer rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. But mentioning to you, this main part of this video is about Andreas Pieriera. He's reportedly said he's happy at Valencia now, very, very happy at life with Valencia. And he's got experience of playing in Spain. Obviously, he's in Spain now. You know, he did it with Granada as well, did Andreas Pieriera. But what he's basically said is he's not considering making a move back to Old Trafford, is Andreas Pieriera. And he said he's explained he's keen on seeing out this loan deal and then basically signing for them on a permanent basis. So he basically wants to sign a permanent deal with Valencia. He wants to sign a permanent deal with Valencia, and this is what Andreas Pieriera has said in the current process. Because obviously we know, as I said, he signed a 1 year extension. He signed a 1 year extension with Man United until keeping him at the club till 2019 as well. He's only made 5 senior appearances for Manchester United as a player. During his loan spell with Granada in 2016-17, he was fantastic. He made 35 appearances and scored 5 goals as well. And, you know, he began his youth career with Lommel United. That's when he was just age 9. You know, went to PSV. Cup to United in November 2011, as we all know. And then he made his first Premier League appearance in March 2015 as well, did Andreas Pieriera. But I was disappointed to see him go, as I said, even on loan. I was disappointed to see him go, even though, you know, he wasn't, you know, he was not, you know, he wasn't going to be getting enough game time at Manchester United, and I think that's one of the main reasons why he went, basically, because you know, he felt as though he wasn't getting enough game time, and he clarified he wanted to be playing week in, week out, and you know, under Jose Mourinho may have been reliable enough if it had stayed, you know, and you know, maybe give Andreas Pieriera a chance, because he did play a lot in pre-season, didn't he, as well, but looking like now what he's suggested that he wants to sign for Valencia on a permanent deal, because Valencia were doing very, very well. So this is the main part of this video, but we do talk about other stuff as well. And yeah, so basically, as I was saying, basically, so who do you think basically can replace Luke Shaw and Man U? As I've already mentioned, Ryan Sessegnon would be fantastic for me, who's Mourinho's looked into. Jordi Alba would be fantastic for me, who's Mourinho's looked into. Kieran Turner would be fantastic for me, Mourinho's looked into. He's looked at quite a lot of left backs, and I still think Danny Rose is the Danny Rose is the possible one that is going to replace Luke Shaw. I think Danny Rose is the most favourable one that's going to replace Luke Shaw. But then Tottenham are going to be in search for a left back as well to replace Danny Rose as well, and they've also looked at Kieran Turner. But yeah, what were I saying in the process? But yeah, we know City is, yeah, I think City is still, you know, emerged as the front runners, you know, to go on and get Alexis Sanchez, as I said, because Alexis Sanchez is refusing to sign a new deal with Arsenal Football Club, as we all know. He was demanding a higher wage increase from Arsenal, just like Ozil's been demanding a higher wage increase from Arsenal, because basically Ozil's coming to an end of his deal, Sanchez is coming to an end of his current deal as well, and a lot of teams have been interested. You know, Paris Saint-Germain, they invest a lot of money in August, but Paris Saint-Germain are still willing to pay £30 million for him in January, because this is what Arsenal, you know, will be demanding for Sanchez as well as Ozil. But as I said, Sanchez made his international debut in 2006. As I said, you know, he was fantastic with Barcelona. He scored 21 goals in his last season with Barcelona as well. Did he like Sanchez? Also for Arsenal, won 3 FA Cups 4 seasons, scored twice in the scored on 2 occasions in the FA Cup final for Arsenal as well. Did Alexis Sanchez, you know, was with Underneath, you know, won honours with River Plate, and Cole on his loan deals there as well. It's his 4th season process with Arsenal. We know he's played over 100 games now in the Premier League, and I think, you know, Arsenal paid £35 million for him from Barcelona, but obviously, you know, I think he's keen on reuniting with Pep Guardiola after they were fantastic together at Barcelona. And I still think City can get a deal over the line for Sanchez, as I do keep mentioning. City can get a deal over the line. Whether City whether City wait until next summer to get him on a free transfer, or whether City purchase him for 20 or 30 million pound in January, time will tell. But these teams out there that are willing to get the pursuit of Sanchez, because we're demanding him on Champions League football. First time 2 decades, Arsenal not had it. He just wants, wants to play amongst better players, elevates at higher level, wins silverware. And with Arsenal, he's not going to be doing this, and this is what Sanchez had explained in the August window. But versatility very, very good at leading the lines, can play the attacking mid, can play on each fans, distinctive in his play, creative, and I think he'll do fantastically well at Manchester City. So City is still looking to get Sanchez into the ranks. So I still think he's favoured to go to City, even though a lot of teams have been interested in him as well. But as for at the moment, insists he's still happy at Arsenal. Alexis Sanchez, but yeah, but don't forget Arsenal could have cashed 50-60 million pound in. Don't forget, but in the process it didn't materialise due to that. Arsenal couldn't find a replacement. As we all know, Lamar was the main target. They didn't get Lamar. Draxler's been mentioned. As I said about Thomas earlier, he's under contract Monaco, I think, till 2020 or 2019. Can play as attacking mid, can play as a wing. Very, very good young age prospect indeed. But as I said, Arsenal could still may revive the interest in Lamar in January. As I said, they could still may revive the interest in. But obviously, Monaco were reluctant and were resistant to offload Lamar in August, basically due to the amount of money that Monaco received the departure of their players. So Monaco basically weren't letting Lamar leave, but the president come out before and he suggests out he's likely to leave next summer, is Lamar, so he could see out this season and then leave next summer, or Arsenal could basically return for him in January. As I said, he made his international debut in 2016, also an ex-champ player where he made 32 appearances for them. Monaco just paid over £3 million for him, and Arsenal were willing to pay £92 million right at the end of the window for the record fee, so Monaco would have benefited from this, but Monaco were not willing to let it happen in the process. So Arsenal didn't get a deal of like Liverpool had 2 bids also rejected for Lamar. But yeah, they didn't get the pursuit of him. But what's also been mentioned today in the press, because obviously, as I said earlier on today on my first video I did today, is about Nabil Fekir from Lyon. Now, we know Arsenal, it did say Arsenal are close to closing in on a deal with, it says Arsenal close to agreeing a deal with Lyon for the signing of Nabil Fekir in January. It's reportedly saying Arsenal are close to signing Nabil Fekir of a fee £60 million. So it's saying Arsenal in January, it says Arsenal were close, and it says in January Arsenal could get the pursuit of Nabil Fekir for £60 million, but it's saying Arsenal are willing to offload Ozil 30 million, Sanchez 30 million, generate that £60 million for the departure of Ozil and Sanchez, and use that 60 million to get the pursuit of Nabil Fekir. So it says Arsenal it said Arsenal are closing in on a deal of £60 million for Nabil Fekir as well. Obviously, he's a very, very good player. As I said, he's a Lyon player. Obviously, and Arsenal willing to pay a club record fee for him, because they played a club record fee for Lacazette, who's done fantastically well for them so far this season. Lacazette, Nabil Fekir is looking to reunite with Lacazette, obviously, because them two were fantastic together at Lyon as well in the current process. So Arsenal did business with Lyon for the pursuit of Lacazette. They could do it again with Nabil Fekir as well, but he's a very, very good player because he can play attacking mid. He can play as a striker as well. Can this Nabil Fekir as well? So reportedly saying Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal, and it's £60 million reportedly as well. So Arsenal fans will be delighted about this as well. But this season he scored 12 goals already as a player. Last season he scored 10 goals and 10 assists, because he can create chances, he can score goals, he can provide assists, can the current player as well in the process. And we know he got promoted to the senior squad of Lyon in 2013, so he's been in the first team since 2013 as well. And in his second season with Lyon as well, he become more of a regular in the first team as well. Made his international debut for France in 2015 as well, did a player, and he risen up the ranks with Lyon fantastically well. as well, did the player. But as I said, in August 2013, he made his first team debut for Lyon, as I said, because he got promoted in the senior squad in July 2013. Scored his first competitive goal. It took him till 2014, April 2014, to score his first competitive goal. And then in 2013-14, he made 17 appearances in all competitions, and then become more regular in 2014-15 season. Ended that season with 13 goals and 9 assists, and then 2015-16 was a disappointing campaign for him, because he was out due to injury, so he missed the majority of the season. And as I said, and he's now currently captaining Lyon as well, is the current player in the current process. But it's looking like, saying it, reports are stemming that Arsenal are closing in on a deal for Nabil Fekir, and the fee is reportedly £60 million. So basically, some press reports are saying this doesn't basically make any sense. Offloading two players and only getting one player in return. Only getting one player in return. For offloading two players, it doesn't really make sense, guys. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, it doesn't. But there you go. But there you go. But as I'm saying about Mesut Ozil, as I said, he's another player that Arsenal are willing to cash £30 million in for January, because obviously, as I said, Arsenal would rather cash him rather than let him go on a free next summer. Ozil has been heavily linked with Manchester United, and I think he can do a lot for Manchester United, because Jose Mourinho classifies him as number 10. Jose Mourinho used to work with Ozil at Real Madrid. They had 3 fantastic years together, as I said. He's definitely made those century appearances now for Arsenal. He's won like 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with the club. This is his 5th season now in the process with Arsenal Football Club, because we know in the process Arsenal are nowhere near securing Mesut Ozil a new deal, because it did confirm the week that the contract talks had stalled between the club, the player and his representative. The contract talks totally stalled, but it did say if there's any chance for him securing a new deal with Arsenal, he was demanding to wear Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt. Also, another player coming to an end of his deal, as I mentioned, and he was demanding Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt. But it said Arsenal are reportedly willing to offload him 30 million, but he did still say that Ozil is 100% focused on Arsenal, even though it did say he reportedly told teammates he does want to join Manchester United. But he's known for assists. He's highly experienced. He can create chances. He's good at creating opportunities, as I said. Was in the Bundesliga for 5 years as well. Mesut Ozil, and Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him from Real Madrid. And since he's been at Arsenal, he has made a big impact, to be quite honest. He has struggled a bit this season as Mesut Ozil in the process, but we know he's been heavily linked with a move to Manchester United as well. But as I'm saying, who do you think Manchester United's next sign could be? Possibly Griezmann. I said in January I very doubt that Man United are going to get Griezmann, but Man United could still go for him next summer, because he has a release clause. As I said, 100 odd million. It reduces to 89 million next summer. But the only reason we didn't get Griezmann back in August was Atletico Madrid's transfer ban. This is 4th season now in the process of Atletico Madrid. Is Antoine Griezmann's in the process, and as I said, very good player. He estimated 6 out of 10 that he did want to come to Manchester United, and he'd be a fantastic number 7, because we haven't had a fantastic number 7, for quite a while. Basically since we had Cristiano Ronaldo. And as I said, and he'd be fantastic, and he has a strong relation with Paul Pogba as well. Does Griezmann, and I think he'd look good, alongside Martial, Rashford, Lukaku, Wood, Antoine Griezmann in the current process. I'd love him at Man United, Griezmann, as I said, and he signed a new deal back in June until 2022 with Atletico Madrid. It's what they're still saying. He's on Barcelona's agenda, is Griezmann, and he was very good. He's very good for France, where he made his international debut in 2014. Very good in the Euro 2016 as well. Top scorer, player of the tournament, and also got France to the 2014 quarterfinals of the World Cup as well. He's just a very good player. Very good with Real Sociedad as well. So he's highly experienced in Spain. He's Antoine Griezmann scored 52 goals and just over 200 appearances as well. Won the title with Real Sociedad. And yeah, very good indeed. Clinical goal scorer, efficient finisher, good at leading the lines, versatility good. So I would like him at Manchester United if necessary, but the board have made it clear to Mourinho he has to sell before he can buy in the current process, and this has been made clear because Mourinho spent 300 million, well, nearly 300 million in free transfer windows his second season at Old Trafford, and he has got a fantastic pedigree. But we know there's been rumours going round, in the last week, so that he's been linked with a move to PSG. The Man United directors believe he will leave Manchester United in the summer and actually join Paris Saint-Germain, because obviously Paris Saint-Germain, the money's there because they invested a lot of money in August, but I don't see this really happening. I still think Mourinho will stay at Man United. He's got a 3-year contract at Old Trafford. It did reportedly say George Mendes, who's Mourinho's agent, has been in talks with Paris Saint-Germain over this situation. But hopefully, we did miss out on quite a few targets in August, and hopefully, Mourinho can reinvest, he can strengthen up the key positions that we need, and look for replacements with the players that do look likely they're going to leave in January. As I said, Luke Shaw could happen, Fellaini could happen, and we definitely need someone on the wing. We definitely need a creative winner that can put a ball into the box. So yeah, we'll see what happens about that, but just updating you on Luke Shaw, as I'm suggesting about Andreas Pieriera. He's a player that's on loan at Valencia, as we all know. So far this season, he's played in 9 games for Valencia. Valencia doing very, very well, having a good standout season so far this season of Valencia. And reportedly, he's said in the press that he's not considering making a move back to Old Trafford, and he's come out and said he's keen on seeing out his loan deal, and he suggested that he wants to sign for Valencia on a permanent deal. This is what he suggested out, and he did say Valencia is a good club. He said they're a big club also. This is what Andreas Pieriera's mentioned now, and also, but obviously, he's made 9 starts this season, but obviously Mourinho was gutted that he left. Obviously, he wanted Andreas Pieriera, to fight for his position, and Andreas Pieriera just felt as though he wanted game time week in, week out, and just felt as though he wasn't going to get this at Manchester United, but he did play a lot in pre-season for us as well. And yeah, but we know he signed a 1-year extension with Manchester United, Andreas Pieriera, as we all know, until 2019. So that puts him on a contract until 2019 as well. He's only made 5 senior appearances for Manchester United. He's been at the club since basically 2011 as Andreas Pieriera. But obviously we know he's been on loan deals at Granada, where he made 35 appearances, scored 5 goals, and now he's on loan with Valencia. Is the current player, so he's now highly experienced of playing in Spain as well as the Premier League. Andreas Pieriera as well, so he feels settled there with Valencia, does Andreas Pieriera, so he could basically sign on a permanent deal, could the player. But we know at the age of 9 he began his career with Lomelo United. He's been at PSV before as well, and then he joined us in 2011 and made his first Premier League appearance in March 2015, I think it was, as well. Andreas Pieriera is a big main part of this video, so tell me what you think of this situation. Put your comments like below, guys. Drop a like on the video, guys, and take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later. Take care. Bye.